How you doing, everybody? Uh, well, I finished Resident Evil 3. Like it was the same day I got it, but I went to bed and I woke up the same day to beat it. It really wasn't that long, but well, okay. I'm gonna talk about the positives. All right. So, positives. This game was the visuals are stunning. It's amazing how they really brought Resident Evil 3 original to life. Like, visually, it was just amazing. Especially, honestly, the intro. The intro is the best intro in the whole entire Resident Evil series. Okay, I say that hands down. Okay, yeah, you people can fight me on that, whatever. It is definitely the best intro, best beginning I've ever seen. I mean, yeah, they were using stock footage, but I'm talking about when you start in the apartment, and how Jill wakes up, and she sees herself turning into a zombie, and then she wakes up again because it was all a dream. But the way how the all chaos happened, I love the way they did that, and the way that Nemesis came in and started just bashing through everything, and it was crazy. It was crazy. So, and yes, I like how they showed the chaos outside, and I did like the movements. The movements were great. The controls on that were just great, stunning. I love the way the visuals, how everything moved. Okay, it looked like a real like a real infection. Like biohazard is happening, and everybody's just panicking and running and all that. I love that. I love that. Resident Evil 3 got that down. The remake got it down properly. How I thought that would play out. Because in the original it was just they showed it all in the intro, how all the chaos happened and all that. Now you actually just get to play it. You actually just get to run through it. I think that was pretty cool. Okay, now we get to Nemesis. All right, I thought his whole design was cool. It looks like a very, very great updated version of him. It was pretty cool, and I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I do miss the tentacle around his arm, but whatever. Uh, it was still cool how he says stars and all that. And I did like. Okay, now moving to the. I like how the power station was still in the game. A bit redesigned. How you go in and all that, and a bit redesigned. It was cool, and it was cool seeing those creatures, the Draenos from the original. It was cool how they got reintroduced. I mean, it was short, but they got introduced, and it was pretty creepy what they how they expand on that lore with them. It's pretty disgusting, but other than that, they take you and they shove maggots down your throat. It's pretty fucking gross, and you got to get herbs to get them out. Pretty nasty. All right, so anyway, got that out of the way. Yes, I was also expecting that they were going to put a lot of ammo throughout the game. I mean, the original Resident Evil 3 was a little like that. It was more action-packed in the second game. I was expecting that right from the get-go. Okay. I did like a lot of the scenes that were in it. I think it was pretty cool. How they recreated some scenes and everything. Unfortunately, now that I said all that, now let's talk about the negatives. Going into the negatives now. I think that Nemesis was very underutilized. Like, I mean, big time. For one, he was just unbelievable. Like there was only one part in the game where it pretty much felt like the original when it comes to him and the mechanics. Like where he chases you. He can chase you. There's a part in the game where it felt random. It felt random, and that's exactly how that part felt like a complete remake of the original, where you will walk out the door and he'll just come running, without you even fucking knowing it. It felt like the original right there. It That it was not even scripted. He just came out, just come running after you, like out of the alleyway. Like holy crap, it felt like the original. I like how he would chase you in those segments. It just felt just like the original. You know, because in the original it was pretty much like that, even though it was with fixed camera views. There was parts in the original, yes, where it wasn't scripted, and you come out the door and he would just come and grab you. There was parts like that. It felt just like that. Now here's my freaking problem. After the scripted boss fights that you did have with him, that never happens again. That never happens again. And because of that, it's just the game it felt rushed. And here, now I'm going to get into this. My honeymoon phase ended with this game when Nemesis turned into a fucking dog. I was saying to myself at that point, what the fuck is this? Did they just skip on did they skip on Nemesis' second form? You know, the steroid version of Nemesis. I'm talking about the tyrant version of him. You know, where he has the tentacles coming out and he looks more like a tyrant. Honestly, that made more sense than what the fuck this remake did with him. That makes way more sense. When he started acting more like a tyrant, you know, how the tyrants have the claw, but, you know, Nemesis has the parasites, it would make more sense. They didn't even do that. They just skipped right to him already fucking mutating. Like, this, you know, beyond what the fuck he was. So, okay, so we got that out of the way. Now, my other biggest problem. A lot of the locations, the clock tower, the paper, the business building, the original restaurant, City Hall, all this stuff, the cemetery, the park, all of this stuff, Dead Man's Factory. Yes, I mean I'm gonna get into that for a minute. Okay, before everybody shoots me about that one. But anyway, all that other stuff was not in the game. It felt so rushed. I was like, by the time I got to the hospital, I was just like, I was already let down. I was let down because, you know, I played the original many times. So I'm like, at this point, I'm like, oh my God. Are we already at the end without showing all these other locations? Are you fucking kidding me? That's how I felt. Massively fucking underwhelmed. Now, I'm going to be real here. Massively fucking underwhelmed. All right, we got that out of the way. So, now we get to that final part. I mean, okay, now here's another positive. I did like the hospital part where the hunters came out. I was on alert right from the beginning of the game. I was like, because, you know, I played the original. I know the hunters came out in the hospital. I know that part. So, because in the original, they come out right in the fucking entrance. They're like right there. They get introduced again from after, when, you know, from Resident Evil 1. They get introduced again. Okay, but I was on my guard. Because I'm like, I know these fuckers are going to come out. Because this part, you know, they're going to keep that as a one-on-one. I just know it. They're going to keep that as a one-on-one from the original. And they did. They just switched it around. They switched it more later into the hospital. They switched it. As soon as I saw those claw marks, I knew they were going to come out. I knew it. I'm like, hunters. They got fucking hunters. You know? So, and yes, they can one-hit shot you in this game now. You know, they can. I think that's being very faithful to the originals. Because I remember in the originals, they could also one-shot take your head off. I remember that. So this is very faithful. It's very faithful to that. They can one-shot kill you. Except instead of taking your head off, they slice your neck. That's it. So anyway, I got that. So now going back to the negatives. Now Dead Man's Factory. Here's my biggest grip with this. They really, really redesigned it to the point it didn't even look like a disposal facility. You know, where they dispose the bioweapons. And this also goes back to the fact that that scene didn't really we didn't get the acid scene that I thought we would get. You know, like fighting Nemesis in the acid scene. Like, you know, you gotta acid him down. No, it just happens in a cutscene. You know, that really pissed me off. I'm like, that scene was so iconic. You know, you gotta acid his arm down. You gotta acid his head down. It was iconic. You know, and him trying to chase you without his head. It was iconic. And they fucking removed that completely. All for a stupid fucking cutscene where they just acid him down when he's a fucking dog too. He's a dog form. I'm like, I am so disappointed. I am so disappointed. So anyway, now for my last, and that final boss part, that final boss, like, honestly, it was all right. You know, for cinematic purposes, I think the boss fight was all right. Okay, it was all right. So I really have no complaints with that. At least they actually gave him a final fucking boss fight. Now here's my problem. Here is my big fucking problem. Nemesis wasn't the fucking villain in this game. Nikolai was. So now, you might as well have called this fucking thing Resident Evil 3 Nikolai. You know, and you know something? Now I actually also realize, haven't you people realized that the name Nemesis is not in the game like the original? Now I know why. This game was so much more focused on fucking Nikolai. Instead of, you know, the baddie monster that the whole fucking thing is revolved around. When it comes to all this, Resident Evil 3 original is fucking superior and is still superior when it comes to these story elements and revolving around Nemesis. It was so much more fucking superior. Alright. Yes, I think I'm going to lose a lot of friends. Lost a lot of my friends on this because, I respected them for